'Cause when you're gone, it's a blessing. 'Cause that's when all the lights are still dancing. It's just an correction. 'Cause I got one in the blessing. Oh.
What is up? I hope you guys are having a good day. And once again, I am going to try and make it a little bit better, hopefully with this video. We're doing Gyre Prime. So yeah, I mean, like with Gyre's release, there hasn't been there's been no change to her kit, but she's been a frame that I've wanted to play ever since I started. But I knew that she was coming around. So I was like, all right, I figured before I go and drop all my forma on some Warframe that's about to have a Prime come out, I'll just wait a little bit. And I'll be honest, I think it was kind of really worth the wait. Yeah, so we're gonna get into the build. First things first, fashion, as always. I do apologize if I sound a little bit congested. I may or may not be getting the flu, but well, I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, got the helmet here. I do like the Prime helmet quite a bit, mainly just because of this whole little Cyclops look. I mess with it. I don't really like this helmet. She also just doesn't really have skins, and I'm starting to notice the frames I really like don't have good skins. Like, what's up with that, DE? This is not right. This is balancing that I don't agree with, you know, on a very fundamental level. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, I don't mess with this helmet. Kind of reminds me of like Korra's fat head. And I just, yeah. But the skin is heat. The skin is heat. These do get a little distracting when I'm bullet jumping, but I mean, this is all she has, and it looks really nice. I like the armor plating. This little chest thing here is really nice. Yeah. In terms of colors, most of my colors are off of the 1003 color pack. So I got the red from down here. I have this like lighter coolish gray look, off-white, not the stark white, but like the slightly creamy off-white, adds a little like darker hue to it. And then orange and red for the energies. Attachments, I am just using the Gyre Prime armor just because like it does look pretty good. This skin does come with a bunch of like attachments if you buy the set. I don't really like how they look. They have like a bunch of like loose coils and stuff, but it's personal preference. This is what I'm rocking. And also because there is so much going on with this skin, like there isn't much else I want to add to it. I don't want to put a chest piece and cover this. I don't want to do any more with the legs. You got to be kind of limited just because like there is already so much going on. As per usual, I got that Diddy ephemera, and yeah, these are the colors. For my Syandana, I am rocking the Serrator, just for that little jetpack look, because she does have a lot going on in terms of energy production and all that stuff. Same color palette here, and that is basically it for the fashion. On my last video, someone commented that they were gonna not steal, but like copy my NYX cosmetic look. Yo, 100% guys, copy my looks, because if we run into each other in the wild, I think that would be so heat, so heat. Anyways, let's get into, well, actually, I do apologize. It's been a few days since I dropped a video. It's been a lot happening this week. All right, like the Diddy documentary came out. Obviously the new update, the new patch for Warframe. I've also been working a little bit here and there. There's just been a lot going on, but I'm hoping that I could crank out a couple videos. Yep, we're still in the relays. We are still in the relays. I'm hoping I can crank out a couple videos sometime this weekend or the early beginnings of next week. But for now, I'll do this Gyre Prime video. My voice just cracked. As per like the same format as all my other kind of build guide videos, I'm gonna just do a quick overview of the skills. There isn't too much that's complicated about her kit, but there are some. I mean, no, some of them are pretty girthy. For her passive, Gyre's abilities have a 10% chance to deal critical damage for each electric status that affects the enemy. Arc Sphere, you throw down a little ball, does electric damage. It's cool. Also applies electric status, which is nice. Cold Horizon, you throw out a bigger electric ball. It rolls around. The physics on it are low-key kind of pretty good and accurate. And with that means it doesn't roll upstairs nicely, so it is a little finicky to kind of like maneuver. You can't just like brute force or like sheer momentum it however you want to do it, just because there is some semblance of like reality when throwing this ball, which is great. But for like for using it, sometimes it's just like, man, just go up the stairs, bro. All right, anyways, at the end of the duration, it becomes a vacuum, pulls a bunch of enemies in. It's not as powerful as like Meg's pull, where she kind of just like yeets the enemy into like the circle. This one, like say the enemies are next to a wall, it'll just like kind of pull the enemy up against the wall. It won't like pull them over, it won't pull them through. But regardless, CC is always really, really nice, depending on the mission that you're running, or just like for general use if you want to group for your weapons. Her 3, Cathode Grace, kind of like the main bit of her kit, I'm gonna be honest. You get a brief burst of increased critical chance, energy regen, and then with each kill, it extends the duration of Cathode Grace. Casting is on a cooldown. The cooldown is a minute. The cooldown starts immediately on casting, so right now the duration is 8 seconds. Once the duration runs out, it'll basically be like a 52-second downtime if you don't have any kills to keep it up. You can kind of increase the crit chance and energy rate by ability strength. Super straightforward, but it is a really, really, really nice part of her kit. And from my understanding, the crit chance, I don't know math terms, but it's not like multiplying your crit chance on your weapons. It is just like a raw crit chance at the end of the calculations, kind of like Arcane Avenger. So right here, it's just going to give me 50% on top of whatever other math is already done. Rotoswell, she kind of pops this ring around her. If you played First Ascendant, it's kind of like Bunny. Like, not entirely like Bunny, but like it's kind of like Bunny. You have the ring around her, procs electric with enemies in the ring, and if you deal critical hits to enemies like not in the ring or just away from you, you can kind of let out electric surges while you're critting them. So it's really, really nice. Just like in terms of upkeep, all you have to do is crit, which is really, really easy because she gives your weapons crit. Albeit like not the most insane amount, but it does get insane on my build. But yeah, so like these two are kind of like, I don't know, the bread and butter of her kit, if you will. We're gonna hop into the mods. Same thing as my other videos. There will be checkpoints where if you want to get off this ride and go ride someone else's ride, pause, you can 100% just go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna go over like things that I consider to be crucial, what makes your kit work really well, and then leave a bunch of open slots to see what you guys want to end up doing. Cathode Current, probably, yeah, no, this is like 100% a necessary mod. Basically, Cathode Grace augment, eliminating enemy while Cathode Grace is active will release an additional discharge from Rotoswell. So when you kill an enemy, you also release the same discharge. That sounds crazy. Damn. When you kill an enemy, you release an electrical burst, the same electrical burst that happens when you crit an enemy. So it just adds a little bit more AoE, just overall like damage increase. But what's really nice about this skill is it turns your 4 into kind of like the same function as your 3, where kills just keep the skill on, right? Yeah, 200% damage, extends the duration by the same amount. So basically what ends up happening is Cathode Grace and Rotoswell become just like cast and forget it. To keep this on, honestly, you don't have to kill the enemies yourself directly, but applying status to them and then having them killed by your teammates also works really well, and it will extend your duration. Just like doing anything to the enemy in terms of statuses will guarantee that your duration extends. These two being on kind of this like duration extended like mode and then also the fact that this gives back energy allows her to be like really kind of stingy with how much you need to invest into her energy, which is really nice. And we do get to invest kind of like the available slots into the rest of her kit a little bit more. So Cathode Current, super must have. While I'm here on this thing, I am running Brief Respite. Not really a necessary mod, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. However, I run it on most of my builds just because I haven't really run into like a big shield build yet, or like a shield tanking build. Most of my shields are either base or like relatively low. So Brief Respite's always nice just whenever my shields get cracked. I cast a couple skills. I also normally run Blind Rage on a lot of my builds. Yeah, it works for me. It's great. I like it. Blind Rage, I am running it. I don't worry about the efficiency too much. Again, just because she does get energy just from having this skill on, and it's a really easy upkeep. And then I'm also running Augur Secrets just for a little bit more strength and also a little bit more synergy with Brief Respite and the Augur set. Also just like a really classic duo. Now for range, Archon stretch. I always have this mod on, but in this kit, it's actually really useful because she does apply electricity herself. Okay, so here it makes sense. Don't come at me. This mod is like the best mod of all time. But with this, obviously now, if I want to, my Panzer doesn't have to do pure electric damage, or I could also swap on my Gyre for like better priming. Yeah, Archon stretch works really well for her. She applies a lot of electricity. You do want range on her. So with that, I do also build Augur Reach. Let me switch those two around. I like these two next to each other. I also build Augur Reach, a little bit more range and also more synergy with the Augur set and Brief Respite, just for some extra like layer of survivability. Again, if my shields ever get popped. And then I run Prime Continuity. Now, the thing here, I'm gonna be real with you guys. You don't need to run Prime Continuity here. If you wanted to, you could actually, for more strength and more damage. Where's that thing at? You could run Transient Fortitude instead of Prime Continuity, and I think that would be super viable. Oh, nice. The reason why I run Prime Continuity is because of the Helminth subsume I ended up choosing. But if you don't want to choose the same, yeah, this is first checkpoint. If you want to get off here, you can get off here. If you don't want to run the same subsume as me, it's going to be Null Stars, by the way. You don't need duration because you can just extend the duration of these two. And yeah, like this is not a necessary mod. And then you could actually go for even more strength, which is really nice on her kit, just doing more damage, especially because you will be critting a lot more often. So pick and choose which one you want. If you're running Null Stars like I am, I think you should go for it. If you are not running Null Stars, maybe go for Transient Fortitude instead, just for more strength. Because again, I don't really think you need duration on this kit, especially with the easy upkeep, but I am running Prime Continuity. And this, wow, this is actually really satisfying. This would be like the first real checkpoint of the ride, basically. If you want to get off here, you can get off here. Depending on what you pick for her Helminth ability will decide like the rest of your kit. But you have 2 open slots. This Vazarin mod slot does come with her. So most of the time, I think it's just like a defensive mod here would be a really good idea. Totally up to you, honestly, on what you end up doing. If you are going the Null Stars option like I am, then I think Prime Redirection would be a really good option here. If you don't want to invest into Null Stars as an ability on your kit even more. Exila slot, honestly, I think Sure-Footed's kind of a must here. And then totally up to you. If you want more strength, you want more duration, you want more range, pick and choose. Both arcane slots, you can pick and choose exactly what you want there. And this is kind of like the setup that I have for her. I could definitely like optimize into certain things a little bit more, but the reason why I wanted to leave it like this is because I like having the options to do kind of whatever I want, essentially, which is why like I really like Nova. It's why I like building Nyx. It's why I haven't played Wisp so much lately, sadly. But I do have a Wisp video coming up really soon. I just like having the options, especially with 2 arcane slots open and a mod slot, to decide on what I want to do. This doesn't have to be Prime Redirection. This could be any defensive option here. Adaptation is also really good. If you want to run any other Helminth skill, this one will kind of just be like a really good skill for you to run. But yeah, this is basically like the core of the build, and it allows you to spec into whatever you want. The reason why I want the 2 arcane slots open is because I do really enjoy running weapon buffing arcanes. I've been a huge secondary guy. Arcane Precision has been my go-to mod, or not mod, but arcane to use for like the past week and a half now. It's just really strong. Secondaries are just also really in a good place right now. So I like having these 2 open. I don't like being forced into using like Arcane Aegis. I don't like being forced into using a bunch of things. And with that being said, and that would lead us into kind of the build that I'm running here. So Null Stars is my preferred Helminth skill. You could totally run Pillage. I think it's a super viable option. I think it's probably the most popular option, just because armor stripping, easy shields, it makes sense for her kit, because you do also like building range on her. But the reason why I like Null Stars is because damage reduction I just think is a lot better. And then also because I'm running Cathode Current, Cathode Grace and Rotor Swell are basically on all the time, meaning as long as I'm killing enemies or applying statuses to enemies and having them get killed later, I don't have to worry about these two skills, which means I can focus my attention on keeping my null star stacks up and then also just casting this thing all the time. I did subsume it over my 1 for a few reasons. I sometimes use this, that's black. I sometimes use the crowd control from Coil Horizon, but also I have my 1 ability on my down scroll wheel, just because 1 is a skill that I typically spam on a lot of my Warframes. It kind of started when I started playing Korra back in the day. And yeah, so it's just a really easy way for me to make sure this is always up, because I just like scroll my wheel down every now and then. So in terms of the build, if you remember what I said about Cathode Grace earlier, enemies killed by you or enemies killed with statuses that you applied, which null stars with neutron star apply, and then also with Archon Vitality, just to make sure it applies. You'll see like in the gameplay, these two skills never dip below like 40 seconds, maybe 40 seconds. They never dip below 30 seconds. Like the upkeep on these is so easy. And I think a large part of it is because of Archon Vitality and Neutron. Well, maybe not Archon Vitality, but Neutron Star. Just a really nice thing to have. And also really nice to apply heat, strip armor. So it allows her abilities to do more damage. And why this also works really well is because she increases crit chance based on how many electric statuses are applied. She gives your weapons crit chance. Oh, I get a 111% crit chance here. This is kind of really fat, but she gives your weapons crit chance, which is also really great. With Arcane Hotshot and Archon Vitality with Neutron Star, I'm getting more crit rate. So you can kind of see like where this becomes like absolutely demonic. It's just like the amount of crit rate I get to all my weapons is absolutely insane, which means I can always guarantee that I'm critting anything that I hit to proc my Rotor Swell. When my Rotor Swell procs, it's going to apply electric statuses to the enemies. It's going to apply more electric statuses to the enemies around them, just because I do have increased range on it. It gets pretty crazy. And then with all the electric statuses like being applied by my critting, if for some reason, I don't know how, enemies live after all that critting that I do, with my abilities having increased crit chance, null stars along with Rotor Swell can crit really easily, and null star with neutron star does so much damage. Now imagine having this thing crit too. It's crazy. It's insane. Like I'm running Steel Path missions. I'm actually doing a lot of the Purita Rebellion stuff, and I'm just like rinsing enemies by running through them and casting null stars. And maybe like they don't like burst and die right away, but they'll die before I leave like LOS from them. It gets pretty wild. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So with null stars critting, obviously you want to kind of like make sure it does damage when it crits. Otherwise, I think base crit damage on it is 1.0. Just make sure you are running Tenacious Bond, because this also does apply crit damage to your abilities as well. Little disclaimer there, nothing too crazy. And yeah, this is kind of the build. I get a lot of crit chance for my weapons, like an immense amount of crit chance for my weapons with Arcane Hotshot, and also with her 3-up. It's just, I don't know how to, I don't know, like playing this feels so synergistic, and I'm gonna be honest, I think I like it a little bit more than Nova, just because I do like having these two abilities just on all the time to A, give me energy, B, just have like extra damage upkeep, synergizes well with null stars, synergizes with her passive, and that's basically it. Nova will still be my preferred character for specific things like defense missions, just because like there's nothing, you can't beat speeding up waves just coming by faster. And now for the arcanes, totally up to you. If you don't have Arcane Hotshot, honestly, don't worry too much about it. If you don't have, or if you don't want to run precision, don't do that as well. Even with this setup as is, just having your neutron stars do like a heck ton of damage is really great. And you already get a lot of crit chance here from Cathode Grace. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but Hotshot is kind of just like the cherry on top to like really bring my weapons up to that next level. And if you have it, I highly suggest running it. Obviously, if you have Prime Sure Footed, put Prime Sure Footed in. I don't know if I said that or not. And then secondary arcane, whatever you want. Like actually whatever you want. Hey, another credit blessing. Totally up to you. Again, I have been really liking secondaries. Arcane Precision is my go-to here, and that's basically the build. Now let's hop into Archon Shards really quick. So, oh right, if you notice, I don't have any form of energy or energy sustain here, so I'm just depending on her base energy, and that's about it. Main reason being, this gives me energy. These two are on all the time. The only thing I'm casting repeatedly is Null Stars. It does cost 38, which is a little bit expensive considering I only have, well, 390 is with the buffs, but I have a little bit less. So for Archon Shards, I am running 2 Tau Forge Blues, and I'm so happy about this because like my collection of blue Archon Shards has been stacking up so much, so much, and all I want are Tau Forged yellows, just because like I need casting speed and I need parkour velocity. And I thought with the new patch, you know, I thought like this whole armor trend was going to be heat. I thought like health tanking was going to be a thing, and in my head I'm like, oh my god, yes, I have a reason to use my blue shards. And then within 24 hours of the patch, they nerfed arcane persistence, so that kind of scrapped my idea on a few videos. I still might try it out, but that kind of hurt, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So when I saw that with my playstyle and like with this build setup, I didn't really need too much energy, but a little bit would be nice. I was so happy to throw these 2 Tau Forged Archons in there. I was just like, oh my god, this is insane. I get 150 energy from it, which is really nice because obviously like I've been playing this build pretty extensively. You're not going to run into the perfect situation all the time where you always have enemies coming to you. There will be a couple instances where like, you know, these two they come off a cooldown, or they like the duration ends, you're going a long time without finding enemies. It does happen, and because the cost on them is so high thanks to Blind Rage, like this is 155 and this is 116, if I didn't have those 2 Tau Forge Blues, I basically wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to recast my abilities when I'm in a room again. So these 2 Tau Forge Blues just allow me to ensure that if for whatever reason these come off, or like if I get nullified by an enemy or whatever, I have enough of an energy pool to recast my main 2 abilities, do whatever I need to do. Even if I don't have enough to cast Null Stars, it'll still be fine because all I have to do is crit with my weapons, which is why I absolutely love this build. I mean, like, it plays like Nova, feels like Nova, except I have a little bit of CC, and also I have 2 abilities that honestly I use a little bit more than Nova's 3 or Nova's 4, which is really nice outside of defense missions. And for the yellows, I have 2 casting speeds. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, her casting speed on her 3 is abysmal. Even with these 2, it is so bad. And like, thank god I can extend this duration, and it's not something I have to recast like all the time, because it's so bad. Part of me wants to put on another casting speed shard, but I know it would just be useless because again, I don't have to cast it all the time. And then 1 parkour velocity. You don't have to run this setup if you don't really care about the casting speed, especially because you can extend her duration all the time. 100% I think you could drop it. It's just really nice because Null Stars is an ability that you can use while you are shooting your gun, and it doesn't stop you from shooting your gun. But I think if you're using like akimbo secondaries, it'll put 1 gun away for a little bit. I don't know if that affects DPS or not, but it makes it feel better. Everything flows a lot better, and I do use my 2 pretty often. Now, in terms of the parkour velocity shard, this is 100% like the most flexible like Archon slot there is here. If you don't care about this, 100% just get rid of it, do whatever you want. If you are running a build that, or if you like using primaries more so than secondaries, because again, I've just been on like a secondary trend, I would just put in one of the Tau Forge purples for increased electric damage on your weapons, and that's about it. That's basically for our Archon Shards. Now, in terms of weapons, because I feel like I do have to go over this a little bit, I think the best weapons for her would be any of the Lich weapons. Main reason being because you can kind of choose the element that you want. It's a lot easier to go pure electric. It's a lot easier to go multiple statuses plus electric. It's a really nice way to kind of like get electric weapons, which I really love. My main go-to right now is the dual coated Torxica. Yes, I understand it's basically we have dual Toxicist at home, but I love this gun. I love these guns. It's so great. It works really well on like almost all of my Warframes, and I'm running Conjunction Voltage in the Arcane slot, which is super heat, because this kind of works the same way as Cascadia Flare. This is becoming like a weapon video now, but this functions the same as Cascadia Flare, where even statuses applied by your Warframe also add to the stack of the Arcane, so I can get this multi-shot really quick. The reload, I'm gonna be honest, on these guns are kind of brutal. Just another reason why I like running Conjunction Voltage. And with that, we are at the end of the video, and I think it's good timing because I really feel my coffee kicking in, and I feel like throughout the video my speed of speech has been increasing like pretty rapidly, and I'm trying to like consciously slow myself down. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy playing Gyre Prime and try out some of the mods or setup that I have for her. 100%, I think you should all run Null Stars. It's just great all around, but you can totally run whatever you want. Null Stars is just really nice for survivability. And you don't need to have Archon Vitality with Neutron Star and Arcane Hotshot. You can just run Null Stars with Prime Redirection or any other form of survivability. It's totally up to you guys. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. And also thank you to everyone who's been leaving nice comments on my videos lately. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you very much. I don't really like talking about my feelings, but it makes me smile, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. If there are any weapons, if there are any Warframes that you want to see, comment them down below. Otherwise, I mean, like, shit, I do got a lot of Warframes. I do got a lot of Warframes I can make some videos on, you know, and it's gonna be at my discretion what ends up happening. So if you don't really care and you are down to see whatever I want to end up playing, it'll come out. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Love. Later.